r/ask Reddit. What weird things happen during sex that nobody warns you about? When you accidentally pull out too far and almost snap your dong in half with the next thrust. When you try to be sexy and pull out and go back and over, but all you're doing is making her queef. LOL, as a girl that is the worst and there's like nothing you can really do to stop it. Very hopeless feeling. Curious pets investigating. Amen. I lock the cats out and we duck to the sounds of them crying at the door. Sigh. I was once having sex with a girl when I felt something lightly hitting my balls. Her damn cat was batting them around like they were cat toys. Funny thing is, like a week earlier, my boss had told me a story about how the exact same thing happened to him. I didn't believe him until it happened to me. I told him about it. Total coincidence. We have some kind of a kinship now. As a guy, trying not to come often feels like those mini games where you have to keep a needle in the middle of a green zone while different factors try to push it left or right. You think you're about to finish? Better start counting prime numbers in your head to distract yourself. No. Got too distracted and now your erection is starting to go away. Now thrust harder to compensate and you now inexplicably feel like you're going to orgasm while having only a semi-erect penis. Then to top it all off, sometimes you stop just a millisecond too late and you get this pathetic 5% orgasm where you feel virtually nothing. Don't actually come, but your dong has decided that the show is over and retreats for winter. Then you have to try to explain what just happened to some poor girl who thinks she did something to instantaneously kill your erection without any hope of it returning. Sometimes you can't finish. Applies to both sexes. Not always a bad thing, as I know it can knock your pride. Weird, but something you work around. Most assume you're going to finish overly dramatically like in porn. Or at least that's what my friends and I thought. Hip cramps. Basically when your legs are spread too wide for too long and your hip flexor becomes a traitor requiring your leg to be straight or you'll be in too much pain for enjoyment. Even worse when it's both of your hip flexors cramping at the same time. Edit. Spelling. Edit 2. Never thought me admitting to getting hip cramps during sex would result in gold twice in addition to being my most liked comment. Thanks Reddit. The amount of stamina required and the significant value of general fitness. If someone had told me in school that gym class was mainly going to aid you in sexual contexts, I would have made a much greater effort. Just when she's getting close, my tongue cramps up. Jaw, fingers, and the needing to breathe when she has both your nose and mouth in just the perfect spot. When you're so close together that you're now basically stuck together with sweat and having to pull yourself apart after. So I dated this girl in college for a bit. The first time we ducked doggy, I was surprised to see her butthole dilate to the size of a dime. Never seen that before or since in any other partner. Sometimes I wonder if I imagined it. Edit. Whoa. So that blew up. To answer questions, my surprise came from the fact that I hadn't touched her a-hole. It just gaped open all on its own. It stayed that way until she orgasmed, at which point it slammed shut with her orgasmic contractions. No, she didn't fart poop. No, I did not put it in her butt at that point. I know. I probably should have. I was young and relatively inexperienced. We did butt stuff eventually though, and I can confirm she was definitely into it. We didn't date very long though. She was cray. All the best ones are, it seems. You can be sexually incompatible with someone. They might want the deep slow romantic shit you see in movies, and you might want filthy degrading dirty talk, and you might be turned off doing what they like most, and vice versa. Also the leg cramps. Your dong occasionally slips out. Then it tries to find a different hole, aka the showstopper. When you try out a new position and it really doesn't work, and you kind of just have to be like next. When neither of you can get your angles right. Yeah, that's just my butt crack. A latex allergy makes things interesting for me. I have to always prepare and bring latex-free condoms if sex will be a possibility. It's a little awkward when a guy goes for a condom and I have to give him the briefing on what's up and go for mine instead. And you can't really predict if it's a good fit for him. Fun stuff. Oh, I always keep latex-free condoms since my last GF had an allergy too. Found out it wasn't that rare. Something happens that you didn't necessarily want or plan for, then you realize you kind of like that. Kinks almost happen by accident. Edit. Thanks for the silver and gold, you kinky ducks. You realize your cat likes to watch. This is the worst, especially as they're not only watching but curious. You're in the heat of the moment, feeling good, forgetting you even have a cat, and then you feel their little paws in places they should never be. Edit. Thanks for the silver. Flopping and slapping noises as your bodies meet. When you both have squishy tummies and your belly buttons meet up just right so they make a fart noise. Maybe that's just me. I call that the interstellar docking sequence. The noises. And the smells. Sex has its own smell. Policemen will sometimes rudely interrupt you by knocking on the car window. I'm a woman with long hair and poor eyesight, so I always have to plait my hair back. Learned that early on. And if I want to see anything I have to have my contacts in. When people said you had to prepare for sex, this was not what I had in mind. BF and I both have miserable eyesight. I can't see more than 2 inches in front of my face without my glasses on. Same with him. Sex is 65% trying to not scratch each other's glasses trying to make out. Your hand cramps up or your elbow starts hurting. Well, if you have a cold and you are on top, it may happen that snot dribbles out onto your beloved and this may or may not make you laugh. If your significant other is lactating, the oxytocin from sex can cause milk to squirt on you. Sometimes, even if a woman is really turned on, she doesn't get wet. ETA. Thank you for the gold. Sheets come off, mattresses slide, blankets start to bunch up no matter how flat they lied, pillows nowhere near the two of you will get launched. Things on the headboard are gonna fall over, just watch. Sex will turn a bed that is perfectly made into one that just hosted a slumber party, with a big sweat spot down the middle. Some people are absolutely amazing, sexy, wonderful people, but you just don't enjoy sex with each other. Sometimes it's libido differences and sometimes it's just certain things don't do it for you. I dated someone who had a high sex drive like me, but she loved teasing. I don't mind it sparingly, but literally every time she deliberately stopped before I was finished as she got off on me being frustrated and wanting her more. Something like that just won't work out if you don't also enjoy that. But for her, normal sex didn't do it for her, so even though we had great chemistry, we would never see eye to eye in the bedroom. Some people can't do 2 physical things at once, so they might be able to kiss, but once having sex they're bashing teeth, sticking tongue out too far, rotating the head the wrong way, just wrong. It's like they can't coordinate 2 types of bodily movement at once. Always wash after eating hot wings. Fingers and face. Edit. Damn silver. Thanks. I'll pass it on to the wife. She's the one that deserves it. My mouth dries up to the point when I swallow it sticks and I choke and have to stop and get a drink. I guess from heavy breathing, moaning and panting, or getting so wound up from him I almost pass out. Blurry vision afterwards. Long sex does not necessarily mean good sex. For one, the girl can get sore, especially if the guy is big. It can also get boring if it goes on too long. It's all about finding the sweet spot. Timing wise, I think it's been knocked into the heads of too many guys that the ideal is lasting for hours. For some women, I'm sure they love that. Others, not so much. Thank you. Some people don't understand this, especially from some girls' points of views. For me, 5 minutes of good passionate sex are better than hour-plus sex. Your mind wanders. Like, you'll be trying to enjoy what's going on and you'll know damn well that you have been wanting this to happen for a while, and you'll still have random one-off thoughts. It can take some self-discipline to stay in the moment, especially since not everything you're doing is necessarily what's best for you. Wait a minute, if I use mutexes I could stop the images from being uploaded in the wrong order but still download them simultaneously. Great dirty talk. How wildly varied orgasms and time can be. Sometimes you can be extremely turned on, go for too long and dribble at the end. Other times you're extremely turned on, fire off fast, and it's like you've got the hose, you've got those seconds rounds that fire off harder than the first. It just varies so damn much. For the ladies, it is just wet afterwards. things drool out of you for the rest of the day, even if it isn't ejaculate. Edit. Oh my. Thank you so much for the upvotes and popping my gold cherry. Kinda weird that my best comment on this site is about kitten soup. But yeah, thank you so much. Kind stranger. Her legs might start vibrating at an alarming rate. I thought she was having a seizure and panicked, but don't be dumb like me. Apparently some girls do that when they're about to orgasm. When her in the front seat and her ass keeps honking the horn. Lem, give your dad beep beep. This the remix to Ignition, he going straight into prison. When you could go all night, but she thinks you're about to come and says don't come yet, but just hearing that makes you come. The apology later is the weird part. Don't stop is another killer. Queefs, curious pets, spontaneous genital malfunction, all genders, the dreaded taint smash, muscle cramps, falling out of rhythm, flesh farts, when two particularly well-fitting sweaty areas match up and there's a little air in between, and it escapes, real farts, short and accidental MMA matches, I've taken an elbow to the eye socket, and the sentence I don't bend that way, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Edit. Thanks for the gold and silver, kind strangers. Boob farts. Show me how them tits fart. Nearly had my ear blown out by a Valkyrie battle cry orgasm. My first silver award. Hell yeah, thanks. Reapplying lube and then doing the old rodeo cowboy hand gesture because you can't fucking find the towel. So you just kinda keep your hand elevated like you're afraid to ask Ms. Lang a question in 8th grade. Miss Lang, where's the damn towel? That awkward tension after I disappoint her. When you are a foot taller than your SO and lining up is difficult. Absolutely nothing, replied the female praying mantis. Some toilet paper leaves clitty litter. When you spoon with a girl after sex and your dong shrinks and sticks to her back like a piece of chewed up bubble gum. Honestly, I just wish someone had warned me that sometimes it's just boring and not fun. I kinda figured for a long time that if you could get a girl and do it safely it would just automatically be a good time. Don't waste your time if you aren't into it. If she gets overstimulated and either starts to cry, faint, or laugh uncontrollably. Personal experience is when my girlfriend was grinding and she came and began laughing hysterically. Made me feel a little bad and uncomfortable, but she explained it to me. I've had 2 girls have their eyes roll back in their heads during sex. Legitimately freaky for a sec the first time I saw it. They're having a good time, so don't stop what you're doing and just try not to look into the demon gaze in front of you. Sometimes you lose your spatial awareness. Partner and I were having a grand ole time. I lost sense of the bed dimensions. We were all over the place. Then I fell off the bed, ass over elbows onto my head and farted upon impact. I was embarrassed. He got me an ice pack for the knot on my head. We've been married 17 years now, and still laugh about it. Be safe, kids. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.